Hello there guys, welcome back to episode 4 of Hearts of Iron 4 as the United Kingdom. We are just letting time run on for a little bit now. We are trying to build up our forces, as well as getting to a point where we can actually get some artillery divisions, or some artillery brigades in with our divisions here. What have we got going on here? Leadership purges in the Soviet Union. Is this the madness of Stalin? Uncertainty has long reigned in the Soviet Union. While details are scarce, there has been a series of secret trials on the highest level, and both generals and ministers have disappeared from the public eye. The natural assumption is that some great conspiracy has been uncovered within the Communist Party, but no official statement has been made. In addition, the diplomatic reports we have access to indicate evidence present at these trials has been far from indisputable. Whatever has been happening, the structure of the Soviet High Command has changed irrevocably. And the shadow scheme has now finished. So, let's go in and work on the industrial effort. If we go over and have a quick look at Russia. So, he's doing militarized schools now, but what he must have done was the Great Purge. So, that's what that was all about. So, let's keep things ticking along. I wonder where all those extra submarines are getting put. Still, we're building up the navies. We don't really need to take them out of port at the moment. Trying to get up to 20 army experience because I want to put two battalions of artillery within each infantry division, as well as a recon support group to give them some more organisation. The Marco Polo Bridge incident. The Japanese and Chinese forces have skirmished inconclusively over the strategic Marco Polo Bridge located just southwest of Beijing. China has accepted full responsibility for the incident, forwarding an apology to Japan as well as agreeing to extensive territorial concessions. This has surprised many experts who had predicted that the border tensions would erupt into a full-blown war. Does this mean lasting peace in Asia? So China actually just gave their land up to Japan. And Japan are actually still working on war with China anyway. So that's basically going to give them a puppet focus on China. So even though China gave them a load of land, Japan is still going to declare war on them. That's mountain infantry done. That is fine. So now that mountain infantry is done, can we start working on any of these yet? No, we can't. We don't really need paratroopers or marines just yet. We've already got motorized, so we could go for something like logistics companies. They can be certainly useful down in Africa. Field hospitals are good as well. Let's go ahead and work on those. What else do we have going on? Nothing particularly important, so we'll just allow this to continue. That's done. Stuff happening all over the place. You guys still got a few more to go. We'll leave you alone. Land doctrine is done. This one gives us more defense and organisation. It's probably well worth having it. Let's go ahead and work on improved machine tools, though. I do want to try and get construction up as quickly as possible. I know we are currently working on industrial effort, which will give us a 50% research bonus on industry, but what we can do then is use that on construction too. So that should work out for us there. I don't mind that too much. Manpower is still low. We are now short of steel. Probably get that from the United States. So let's go ahead and get that sorted. So how are we doing with the old logistics? Motorized, we've got 677 stockpiled. We've got 214 light tanks stockpiled, which are the old Vickers ones, because the Matildas are still reinforcing the group. And where's artillery? 488 artillery. It's actually not too bad. You'll be surprised how quickly that goes away, though, because each division of artillery... where are we? Each division of artillery is 36. Well, not division of artillery. It's, again, I can never remember what these are. Brigades. Brigades, battalions. Each battalion of artillery is 36 artillery. So that's not too bad. But yeah, we definitely want to get the recon company in there. So that's going to cost us another 10. It might be nice if we could get the... See, we could just go for support artillery. But I like actually having towed artillery with them as well. Let's quickly go and add some more units to this, just so that we can keep the infantry coming. How are things going with you, Monty? You still haven't got anybody trained up yet. That is fine. How are things going down here? You just have this one guy left to go. There's 95%. Your organisation just goes down the toilet when you're exercising, so we need to stop doing that as quickly as we can, really. But at the same time, we do want to get them trained up. If we do get some spare units, I might send some down there just so we do have a full stack of 24 and actually send them some proper regiments. Although even the Purple Army here will have to train up some more once we add the artillery to them. So I'm not going to go and grab this just yet because I want to wait until we get that bonus. Although we could go for excavation. What do we want to go for in the meantime? We could definitely get some better ships. We could go for better submarines, I suppose. Let's go ahead and work on getting some better submarines. Why not? So let's go and unpause things. And we've still got people sort of training up. It'll take a while. We're still very short on supplies. How are things going over here with the production? So we've got the full amount of factories working on these. We still have a lot missing. Now we're working more on support equipment. What about the actual construction itself? So we're going to be going back on to civilian factories shortly. A couple of civilian factories coming in. Might try and cram a couple more in there as well. In world tension's only 18% at the moment. Germany hasn't really been causing too much of a problem right now. What are they actually working on? Air innovation. So they're not trying to fabricate claims on anybody or anything at the moment. So I don't think we have to worry too much about that right now. If only we could get this up to 20. This is going to take a while. There we go. You have another division there. Nope. Oh, stuff is happening. Japan have declared war on Shanxi. The Japanese build upon the Chinese border. Following the Marco Polo Bridge incident, Japan has not let down their pressure on the Chinese border. In conjunction with the aggressive Japanese rhetoric speaking of terrible retaliation for China's refusal to cooperate, which is weird because China did cooperate, a renewed war between Japan and China seems more and more likely by the day. The diplomatic situation will soon reach boiling point and Japan has expressed no interest in diffusing the situation. Well, they've already declared war, I think. There's the industrial effort done. So let's go in now and work on the extra research slot, because why wouldn't we? So let's go and get that started. Yep, Japan has declared war on China. So good luck, China. Love to be it. Sometimes China do actually win this war, though. I have seen China push them back, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end for China. Sometimes they actually get a good job done. Again, just keeping an eye on who's trained. Well, you've got a lot of divisions now that are very well trained up. How are you doing down here with your 11 divisions? You're fully trained, so you can stop exercising. We're going to go to Montgomery's army. We're going to grab one infantry division and put you there, just to make you a full stack. And we'll take these 3 divisions and we'll go ahead and put them in the Green Army, and they'll automatically go and head off to port and go and join up with the group. So that is fine. We can modify our government. Okay, so I don't think we need to change any of this now, though we can change our... Nope, can't change the conscription yet. So I don't need to worry about any of that. So what could we get that could be useful? Division recovery rate, division attrition, infantry division attack and defense. That's probably going to be most useful for us, especially because we're mostly going to be using infantry in the early game. And anything that gives us an advantage when we're holding the line, I think, is really, really worth it. So I just want to get this army... Well, army experience is really dropped down now because we've got even fewer units exercising. But we will be taking less attrition as well. So a couple of new units there. We'll keep sending some down here, actually. I might just make it up to a 20 stack. I'm not convinced we need the whole full 24 there. How are things going with the recruitment here? We could do with a couple of mountain divisions. These units are very, very small, though. Very small indeed. Almost to the point where I sort of think, is it worth having any? Though the mountains do generally have small combat widths, and we can always upgrade it later, so it might be worth getting a couple. So let's go ahead and train some mountain divisions. We will add, say, what's that, 5. We'll go and set you in the East Midlands, and you can go and join. We've got to have the right theatre selected, or it doesn't work for some reason. You will go and join that army there. Okay. And we also want to upgrade the tank brigade so we can put motorised infantry in it and more tanks, but all this stuff will happen once we actually start seeing some combat. Which again is another downside of being a democracy. If we were actually playing as communists, for example, or if we had the ability to send some troops down there to help in the Spanish War, even if you can't actually win, you're still getting experience at a much faster rate. So it's a shame we can't do that, but I think things will generally be okay. But yeah, I'm happy we are getting some divisions down there in Africa. Getting a few more cavalry probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. I mean, that is what cavalry were always used for in the war. Manpower's not great, which is a problem. Let's go ahead and get some... What are our cavalry brigades like? They're not too bad, actually, because they've got recon companies. Let's go ahead and get a couple of cavalry brigades. We probably only want to get, again, sort of 3 or 4. We'll make that up to 20 with normal infantry, and then we'll throw 4 more cavalry in, I think. We'll set you a location in East Anglia, and of course you're going to go and join Monty's army for training. There we go. Now we are going to start burning through manpower again very, very quickly, but once we go to war, we should be able to increase the manpower quite a lot. Also, we are almost at the point, not quite at the point, but we're almost at the point where we can start working on issue gas masks. So we basically need to be ready 1938, really. But then we can start working on the Military Training Act. So the quicker we can do that, the better. So what did we just finish up? We finished up a couple of researches, actually. So in industry, we should have a 50% reduction, and we do. So let's go and use that on construction 2. 61 days, that's nice. We are still in 37. A little bit ahead of time with these. We could go ahead and grab them, but I don't think we need to straight away. What do we want to work on? Are we actually working on any land doctrine at the moment? We are not. Let's go and work on that extra defence and organisation then. Let's make sure we buff our infantry up quite nicely. Obviously, at some point, we'll need to do the same thing with the Air Force and the Navy as well, but we do what we can. We are burning through manpower. I suppose we're also burning through equipment as well at this rate. Actually, we are starting to catch up on infantry equipment now. Support equipment's still behind a little bit. The tanks are nearly done. Now, what you'll see now is that the fighter number has changed because we have now completely filled the reserves that we were building up, and we're now slowly starting to replace them. So if we go over to this airport here, you'll now see these fighters have 30 Hurricanes and 670 Gladiators. So we're starting to put those Gladiators back into the stockpile and replace them with Hurricanes. So what have we got here? Italy announces claims on the Yugoslavian territory. Speaking to Italian populations along the Dalmatian coast, Benito Mussolini has announced that Italy fully considers Italian-speaking territory in Yugoslavia to be rightfully part of Italy. An official statement backed up the claims, making it clear that Italy is prepared to take the territory by force if need be. And we have ourselves an extra research slot, which is really nice, and we can pick another national focus. It's a shame because we're only 30 days away from being able to pick that thing there. Do we want to go straight into that, or do we want to go into Royal Forces factories? Because that will give us 6 military factories for free. So I think we just go into 6 free military factories. Extra research slot, which is really nice. I guess we could go and work on some air doctrine, which could be useful. So we don't have an air doctrine pre-selected as the United Kingdom. So strategic destruction. By bombing the enemy factories either by night or more dangerously during the day, we can seriously hinder their war machine. Battlefield support. By improving how close air support interacts with divisions, we can lay waste to enemy divisions with optimal support. Or tactical bombers are flexible and can perform both ground support and regular bombing. Now, we do have some tactical bombers. So do we want to go for... What's that? Fighter detection, air support, mission efficiency, ground support versus interception detection. I think we want to go for battlefield support, actually. Let's go for the battlefield support. We'll start working our way down there. I think things are going relatively well. So you've got now an absolutely full division. We might swap some of these guys out with a few Mountaineer troops, or maybe I'll put the Mountaineers in a completely separate army. The problem with the Mountaineers is we might end up on 2 or 3 different fronts with them. So they might be better off sat at the back as reserves and just mixed in with the other armies where need be. How are those recruits doing? Not too bad, actually. So everybody pretty much has the supplies that they have. Let's go and make sure that we don't have reinforcements on low priority anymore. I don't think we need to do that. And yeah, we'll get you some extra units where we can, but we will be sort of surrounding the Italian borders at the moment, so that will make life a little bit easier for us down there. And the good thing is, the quicker you can get Italy out of Africa, the quicker you can bring the rest of those guys home and sort of start defending the home territories. So it's always worth getting that sorted as quickly as possible. How's the old training going there, Montgomery? You're actually not doing too bad, really. You're really sort of kicking through those guys, and you'll have another load coming through soon. We're still working on a few civilian factories, then we'll have a few more military factories queued up. And like I said, we're doing quite well at the moment anyway, because we're getting 6 free ones from our current doohickey. Most of our supply here is quite good. Our infrastructure down here is fairly decent. And as a result, we don't really need to spend too much in upgrading it, so I don't think we will. Just seems like a little bit of a waste, really. Especially as we don't intend to be doing much, if any, fighting at all in the British mainland. So why bother wasting the build time on it? Manpower is dropping through the floor again. Field hospital's now done. That is fantastic. What do we want to research next? Can we get these yet? Yes, we can. So... support weapons, basically defensive. Improved equipment is basically better attack. We want both of them. I don't really think it matters which way we go. It doesn't actually change anything. We don't have to build anything or reset anything like that, so we should be fine. So we'll allow that to continue on. 51 tanks needed, 500 support equipment, 8,000 infantry equipment. That's actually working out quite well now. We definitely want to get some more military factories working on our aircraft, particularly our fighters. And ideally on the artillery as well. Still relatively low on manpower. How many artillery do we have in there at the moment? 768. That's not actually bad. We're doing quite well on motorised and artillery. We've been building them up since the start of the game, so that's really going to help. Now, what's the best way we can get more manpower? What do we need to change this? So probably extensive conscription or service by requirement. So I don't think, when it says one of the following must be true, current ruling party fascist, current ruling party communist, or all of the following must be true. Because I don't think, I think if, yeah, if we are at war and the estimated enemy strength to ratio is 60% or more compared to ours, we can go by service by requirement. So we'll be able to pick one of these better ones up, but only once we're at war. There's construction finished. What do we want to go for now? We should probably start... Let's go start working on excavation, because if we can... We do have quite a few resources as the United Kingdom, if I can find the resource map mode. Pretty sure I clicked on it. No, maybe I didn't. Oh, resistance map mode. There we go. So we have a fair bit of steel around. We don't really have much oil. We might want to sort of start getting our own. But we definitely do need steel. So it'll be highly advantageous to us. I've just noticed that we can modify our government. It'll be highly advantageous to us if we don't need to get steel from like America all the time. But yeah, we might want to get some oil up in Scotland. So let's go ahead and modify our government. Do we want to get a political advisor? Can any really help us? Democracy support we don't really need. We definitely don't want to be communist or fascist. More political power gain. That could be useful. Civilian to military factory conversion, we're not bothered about that. Military factory construction speed plus 10% would be nice. What about any of these things? Theorists, industrial concerns, industrial research time minus 10%. What about tank designers? We can go for Vickers Armstrong, give our tanks more reliability and soft attack. Or we can get a military chief. Division attack plus 10%, division defense, division speed. I like having the attack, being able to break through. When you make a push, you start pushing the enemy back. That becomes really, really useful. So we'll go for that. I wonder where all of our random submarines are getting spat out these days. Where are our subs? Well, do you see any? Are these the ones that are just... East India Fleet, Mediterranean Fleet. What have we got going on here? The Anschluss of Austria. After a successful coup d'etat by the local Nazi party in Vienna, German troops have crossed the Austrian border and taken control of the country. No fighting has been reported, and German soldiers were greeted by cheering crowds in the cities. In a speech before a massive crowd at the Heldenplatz in Vienna, Hitler announced the Anschluss of Austria, annexing the country into Germany. The oldest eastern province of the German people shall be, from this point on, the newest bastion of the German Reich. This violates the Treaty of Versailles, and Royal Ordnance factories are now finished, which is giving us some free military factories. What we want to do now, though, most definitely before we do anything else, is go and start working down here so we can get some more manpower. We are short on steel, so like I said, it would be nice if we can not have to rely on getting our steel from somewhere else. Military factories, we now have 5 available. I think we definitely want to get some more on bombers. On the fighters, sorry. And let's get another one on... Let's go for 5 on the bombers. Obviously we don't have 5, but they'll fill in automatically. And... yeah, that actually might be enough for now. And that's still saying we're short. If we just unpause that, though, it might go away. Yep, no, that's fine. That has sorted itself out. World tension's now at 39%. We have finished research on the T-class submarine. Guess we could work on some transports. Being able to do naval landings is quite... Oh, we've already got Transport 1. It's the landing craft, so we don't need to worry about that. Better cruisers? Sure, let's go and work on some better cruisers. In the meantime, we need to go in and change our Submarine 1 to the Submarine 2. And what we could do if we wanted to, because we do have some naval experience, is we could create a variant and we could give it more reliability or better stealth. There's 25 points for 1 upgrade though, so we wouldn't be able to do much. But we could give them more damage. So let's go ahead and do that one. So this is going to be the Mark 1, the Submarine 2, the T-Class Mark 1. So we'll swap with you. We will lose some production days there, but that is absolutely fine. Either way, I think that's a good place to end the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Hearts of Iron 4. I'll see you next time, and until then, goodbye for now.